I come from a very dysfunctional alcoholic family, a lot of trauma. I'm a survivor of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So this is one of the ways I had to learn about this as an adult. If you don't know that those neuropeptides are in the organs and decades pass, then they will let you know sometimes by creating what we call illness or disease. They'll show up as a condition of inflammation initially, and the inflammation, if it's not addressed, can lead to something else.
How did you address that stuff?
And I had to address it by understanding that it took a lot of work.
Were you a different guy when you were in your 20s?
No, well, yes and no. I mean, I certainly know more now than I knew then. I had to come to terms. I do a lot of research, and I think this is probably why it happened to me the way it did, Brian, so that I can share it with other people.
Okay.
I had to find people. This is not a popular way of thinking at that time. And Candace Pert was the first medical doctor. She died in 2013. She was with the same publishing house that Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton and I were with. So we all had the opportunity to know her. Brilliant woman.
Okay.
And she was the first that linked this idea that it's not the hurt is bad. That's not the problem. It's unresolved hurt. So the question is, when we have these deeply traumatic experiences, and we all have them in our lives, loss of loved ones, betrayal, when someone lies to us, or infidelity. I mean, these are the most intimate relationships is where we have the deepest hurts. And we have those. Where does that emotion go? And one of the most amazing studies that I saw was from the Institute of Heart Math, where they had a heart harness monitor on a man for 24 hours, which they commonly do to measure what's happening, and it measures whatever's happening in your life, waking, sleeping, eating, running, watching TV, showering, whatever you're going to do. They had no way of knowing that within moments of him being fitted, he and his wife were going to have a fight. And they had a fight. And the heart monitor recorded the whole thing. And so what happened was, you can see where his heart was. These are heartbeats per minute. You can see what's happening before the fight, after the harness is on, and then you can see exactly where the fight happens, and you can see the heart respond. This is why I'm sharing this with you. There's a point, we've all had this experience, where we say, okay, the fight's over. So you were wrong, I was right, or I was right, you were wrong. Something happens and we say, okay, the fight's over. Well, we say with our words, the fight is over, but guess where the fight is not over? In the heart, because those chemicals are still present. And the heart monitor showed this. So even though you could see where the monitor dropped, they said, okay, the fight's over. His heart was so elevated, heart rate was so elevated from where it was before it happened, because he was not trained to reset or to metabolize those chemicals out. Now, other studies of those people who are trained to do what's called a reset, to harmonize the heart and the brain in a very conscious way, to shift the breathing in the body. Slowing a breathing is a very powerful signal to the body that signals that you are safe. And the body can only do, it's like a switch. There are two modes. The body either is in survival, and if there's a survival scenario, then it makes sense that you're not going to put energy into healing and rejuvenation because you're trying to survive. So when you're in survival, all the time, all the energy is going into that survival. You've got the stress hormones kicked up, adrenaline, cortisol, and it shuts down the body's ability to rebuild and to rejuvenate and regenerate the cells. For a short period of time, no big deal. We all have this. The problem is when this becomes chronic.